All right, let's get right into it. Today we are going to cut through all the noise and give you a super clear, actionable framework for building wealth, specifically for 2026. So let's dive in. You know, if you've ever felt completely buried under just an avalanche of conflicting financial advice, you are definitely not alone. It is so confusing. So the goal here today is simple. We're going to give you a modern roadmap that you can actually follow step by step.
Okay, so where do we even start? Well, part one is all about building the foundation. I mean, think about it. Before you can invest, you need money to invest. That sounds obvious, but it's crucial. And that means finding your surplus. The key to the whole thing? A solid budget.
Now, look, there isn't just one way to tackle this. Two really popular frameworks you'll hear about are the classic 50-30-20 rule, which is what we're going to focus on, and the 70-20-10 rule. That second one, the 70-20-10, is a bit more aggressive. It puts 70% to essentials, a big 20% to building wealth, and leaves just 10% for personal goals. But for our foundation today, let's really break down the classic, the 50-30-20.
The classic 50-30-20 rule is it's beautifully simple. Here's how it works. You take your take-home pay, and 50% of it goes to essential needs, rent, bills, the must-haves. Then 30% goes to your wants, like going out to eat or hobbies. And that last crucial 20%, that goes directly into savings and investments. That is the surplus we're trying to capture.
Okay, so to really maximize that 20%, you have to know where your money is actually going. You've got to track your expenses. It's the only way to find those little leaks in your budget. I mean, think about it for a second. How many subscriptions are you paying for right now that you don't even use? Cutting those, that is the absolute fastest way to grow your surplus.
So you've found your surplus. You've plugged the leaks in your budget. Awesome. But now, what do you actually do with that extra cash? Well, you need a smart place to park it while you figure out your next move. This is what we call the staging area. It's a spot for your short-term goals or for money that's just waiting to be invested.
Look, in 2026, a standard savings account just isn't going to cut it anymore. The interest is practically zero. The top options you should be looking at are high-yield savings accounts, or HYSAs, which give you much, much better rates. Then there are CD ladders, which are a really clever way to lock in those rates. And finally, money market funds, which are perfect for cash that's sitting in a brokerage account.
All right, so what exactly is a CD ladder? It sounds complicated, but it's not. It's basically a strategy where you split your money into a few different certificates of deposit, CDs, that all have different maturity dates. So you might put some in a 1-year CD, some in a 2-year, and some in a 3-year. This is so smart because it lets you lock in today's high interest rates for a longer time, but you still get access to some of your cash every year as each CD matures. It's the best of both worlds.
Okay, so you've found your surplus, and you've parked it smartly. Now we get to the most powerful part of this whole framework, building the actual engine of your wealth machine. And trust me, the secret here is automation. We want to make this whole thing completely effortless.
I want you to just take a second and really look at this number. 100%. That is the immediate, guaranteed, risk-free return you get on your money the second you contribute enough to your 401k to get your full employer match. I mean, just think about that. There is no other investment on planet Earth that offers this. It is quite literally free money. The most important thing here is to make this all automatic. So here's your checklist. First, you've got to pay yourself first. That means setting up an automatic transfer to your investment account on the exact day you get paid. Second, always contribute enough to get that full employer match we just talked about. And third, you're going to use a strategy called dollar cost averaging.
So what in the world is dollar cost averaging? Well, instead of trying to do the impossible, which is time the market, you simply invest a fixed amount of money on a regular schedule. Every payday, every month, whatever it is. What this does is it means you automatically buy more shares when the price is low and fewer shares when the price is high. It's a super disciplined approach that completely removes emotion from the equation.
Okay, so we've built our automated engine. Now it is time to add a turbocharger. And this turbocharger comes from using special accounts that protect your investments from taxes, which lets them grow way, way faster.
So here is your primary toolkit for 2026. In the US, the Roth IRA is an absolute powerhouse. It gives you tax-free growth and tax-free withdrawals in retirement. For our viewers over in the UK, the ISA does a very similar thing. But there's one more account that is uniquely powerful if you can get it.
And that would be the Health Savings Account, or HSA. People often call this the ultimate retirement account because it has this incredible triple tax advantage. Think about this. Your contributions are tax deductible. The money inside grows completely tax-free, and you can withdraw it tax-free for qualified medical expenses. It is just an unbelievably powerful investment vehicle.
And that brings us to our final crucial step. This is the payoff. This is where we take all the pieces we've just built, your surplus, your automated engine, your tax-free turbochargers, and we match them to your actual life goals.
Right here, this is where it all comes together. Think of this as your cheat sheet for the entire strategy. It's simple. For your short-term goals, anything under 3 years, you're going to use those high-yield savings accounts or money market funds we talked about. For medium-term goals, you can look at things like CDs or bond funds. And for those big, long-term goals, 5 years or more out, that's when you lean into growth assets like S&P 500 index funds. See? It's all about aligning the right tools with your specific timeline.
And there it is, a 5-part framework for building wealth in 2026. You find your surplus, you park it smartly, you automate the engine, you add that tax-free turbocharger, and you match it all to your goals. You now have the complete roadmap, so the only question left is what's your first move?